NBA YoungBoy Make America Slime Again tour earned over $70 million. And it's only halfway true. Look, drop it in the comments. This puts it among the top 10 highest grossing rap tours in history. In the United States, of course. And that's after a 5-year hiatus. He didn't went to prison. Bro, nobody thought it would happen. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. I thought he was gonna be lip singing everything, but the man brought his A game. That's where you got to give it to Contrell. Now, performing in the casket and shaking on the ground like G Money having a seizure, all that other shit, the diss song, that's a whole bunch of extra shit. Even Birdman been and Lil Tim all on his motherfucking shoulders. That's look, the main winning. You know what I mean? The main is on top of his shit right now. One wants to see if he can keep that momentum after the tour ends. Drop it in the comments, man. Shout out NBA YoungBoy. Jay-Z will be required to take a paternity test for Rymir Satterthwaite. He's been trying to avoid it for years. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. When the lawsuit got tossed out, everybody thought Rymir Satterthwaite was lying. On top of that, the godmother was trying to get a restraining order against Jay-Z, but that was denied. Look, because Jay-Z, he want all the smoke. Look, it's come to my knowledge that Jay-Z's legal team only submitted 18 of 135 pages. That is why Rymir Satterthwaite's lawsuit was dismissed. But this is coming back around. Look, this is going to bite him in the ass. He was trying to avoid everybody finding out the fact that he liked them young girls, but that boy looked just like him. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. 6ix9ine throwing shots at Snoop Dogg. He said he was cheating on his wife of 20 plus years with Selena Powell. Not only was he cheating on her, but he was whining and dining her. Look, bro, you a day late and $1 short, 6ix9ine. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Everybody already knew what type of piece of shit Snoop Dogg was with that woman, but she accepts it. For all these years, she has accepted it, bro. So to start a fire there, or to think you're gonna start a fire there, you've been misinformed. You know what I mean? They know what they signed up for, bro. They got an open relationship. Open relationship, meaning it's an understanding behind the scenes. You know what I mean? So one could say he's a piece of shit, but that man just living. You know what I mean? They're enjoying each other. He just bought her not one, not two, but 3 rings for her 50th birthday. She's happy. Yeah, she's happy. She chose. Just being honest, just being real. Drop it in the comments. Big U, Eugene Henley, suffered a tragic loss in Los Angeles. Look, his son, Jabari Big Huey Henley, was shot and killed in South LA after approaching a vehicle. Look, loose cannon, let it be known that Big U is suffering. Yeah, he's suffering, bro. He going through it. He's devastated. It's his fucking son, 34 years old. Not to mention, he's facing RICO charges, going to trial May 2026. It's supposed to be like 75 6-0s cooperating against him. Look, bro, they got him for robbery, extortion, embezzlement, fraud, tax evasion, and using federal funding in the wrong way. Like, it's not looking good for Big U. I'm gonna be honest with you, but it don't make it no better that he lost his fucking son. You know what I mean? Look, bro, y'all got to stop it. All this black on black crime has to stop, bro, but y'all ain't gonna listen. Y'all ain't gonna never get in. What they gonna say? Oh, it's LA business. Man, come on, fam. Meek Mill was arrested at a Halloween party in New York City. The man was just trying to get his party on. They had him cuffed. Took him out of his car because they heard somebody had a pistola, a firearm, a gun on him. Thought it was Meek Mill. Case of mistaken identity. Look, he said embarrassed the fuck out of him. On top of that, all the guns waving in his face, man. He said he's scared to leave home without one. Right? Nuh-uh, bro. Look, it is kind of fucked up that you had nothing going on and they would arrest you. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Because what's going on through your head at the time is like, did somebody say I killed somebody or something? Look, the worst things are going on through your head, bro, because you don't know why they arrested you. Shout out Meek Mill, you know what I mean? Meek Squilly. They let him out. He was caught and released like an old fish. You know what I mean? Only thing that was hurt was his feelings. So let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Drop it in the comments. Montana hired Drake's body modification doctor. He recently revealed surgically constructed abs. The same abs that Drake was flossing. You know what I mean? Look, it's a set package. They all look the same. You know what I mean? Look, I'm gonna tell everybody like this. And he's trying to look pretty for Diddy. Yeah, it's allegedly. Allegedly, Diddy's supposed to be out in less than 3 to 4 months. Look, he's trying to look pretty for Diddy for sure. But look, bro, once you get the money, you make the money on, or your hard work pays off, you could spend it on any modifications you want. Let's just be honest. If you want a big ass $800,000 chain like Kodak Black, you buy that. If you want a fast car like Currency, man, you buy that. It's on you to be able to enjoy yourself. You know what I mean? Now, if looking better in your eyes, if that's what you want to spend it on, you well within your right. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Shout out French Montana. Durk secured a win in a $12.5 million lawsuit. This was from Exceed Talent Capital, tied to a failed music investment deal that was officially dismissed. Look, luckily, the main trial starts soon for murder for hire. I mean, he can't take no more else. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Well, they paid him. It was a $600,000 deal. They paid him $450 of it, only to find out that he was already signed to Sony's Alamo Records. You know what I mean? Look, bro, I don't know how he won this. Maybe something was worked out behind the scenes, but it was dismissed, bro. Shout out to Durk. Everybody think it's over for him. You know what I mean? He don't got not one, but two, but about 6 modified hires at this point. But I think he's going to make it out by the skin of his teeth. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real, man. Free Durk. Drop it in the comments. Offset is being sued for assaulting a dispensary security guard at MedMen in LA. Look, bro, he didn't have his ID. He became hostile, confrontational, and he ended up snuffing him. Yeah, he ended up snuffing him. Offset tried to punch him out. Once the man hit the ground, the rest of the crew put hands and feet on him. You know what I mean? He barely made it out of there, bro. Barely made it out of there. End up macing the whole team. Hopefully I'm not butchering the story, but allegedly he maced the whole team before being rushed to the hospital by ambulance for a little head injury. He said fucked him up. He's suing for that injuries and emotional damages. Look, Offset, bro, you already $23 million in debt. Can you really even afford anything else, man? Come on, man. Drop it in the comments. Scores from the playground. Danny Boy throwing shots at Snoop Dogg. He say Snoop Dogg trying to starve him out. Yeah, trying to starve him out. Snoop is in possession of his masters, and he want that shit back ASAP. He said don't mean nothing to Snoop anyway. Let him buy it back for about $7. You don't want it? Call him, tell him he can come pick him up. You know what I mean? It don't mean shit to you anyway. Look, drop it in the comments. Danny Boy say the worst thing he ever did was went back to death row and fuck with old Snoop Dogg. You know what I mean? He say Snoop Dogg is trying to treat him like a video vixen, a hip hop honey, playing with his money on. Even a chain he gave Danny Boy was a fake. You know what I mean? Look, bro, he say he don't want shit from him. Don't want shit from him. Despite being fucked over, he still has the ability to sing, and that's enough for him. God's given talent. Shout out Danny Boy, fans. Pay that man, because you got the money, Snoop. Pay that man, bro. Oakley said Master P never had NBA talent. Yeah, he was on the court just to make niggas say, you know what I mean? Real shit. He said he was slow, couldn't run, couldn't dribble, couldn't guard nobody on the fucking team. You know what I mean? Only thing he had was a hell of a fucking set shot. You know what I mean? You leave him open and leave him there, he'll make one eventually. But he said if the man take more than 3 or 4 dribbles, they'll steal a rock from him. You know what I mean? Look, shout out Master P, because a lot of people don't do it. He was the first rapper to actually make it to the NBA, bro. You got to give him some credit for that. You know what I mean? Yeah, ain't nobody really just thought he was out there just hooping. I think he only played like, what, 2, 3 games, you know what I mean? The games didn't even matter, you know what I mean? But he played and he tried. That's really all that matters, man. Drop it in the comments. Cars from the playground. Wack 100 throwing shots at Pooh Shiesty. He say that man's a snitch. Everybody looks up to him. You Mr. Get It Back in Blood, but he in fact cooperated for less time. He was supposed to get 10. After signing the proffer agreement, he got less than 5. Look, Wack say he tried to protect him out of respect for his daddy. His daddy say don't put the information out on my son. He got to be able to survive in prison. You know what I mean? Despite Loose Cannon wanting to out him a long time ago. You know what I mean? Look, bro. Shout out to Pooh Shiesty. The man was scared to show his face. Yeah, he was scared to show his face. He got famous for the shiesty mask. What can you really expect, bro? The streets are a myth, you know what I mean? Commercial hip-hop artists are just that. They're commercial bastards, you know what I mean? They're lying to you. Most of them ain't what they be talking about. Despite, haven't been in the streets a little bit, that ain't their life, bro. Drop it in the comments. They talking about another nigga shit. Just being honest, just being real. Drop it in the comments. Cars from the playground. 7 on throwing shots at THF Bezu. Look, he say, why cry for him? He got himself killed and didn't even see it coming. He was at a tire shop. They got him in broad daylight. If you're really rich like that, what are you doing at a tire shop in broad daylight? Look, I don't know too much about THF Bezu, but I did see the interviews where he was speaking and saying shit like that couldn't happen to him. Why? Eyes behind his head. He see everything coming. Look, bro, ain't no way. For everybody to think this is a video game, this is real fucking life, and this is real fucking life. Best thing you could do is try to change it up right now. But if you live by the gun, you're destined to die by that motherfucker. One of the best things 607 Monk said is if you play in them streets for too long, at a certain age, you're gonna go, fam. That's just how it is, man. Life is real, bro. This ain't no fucking Grand Theft Auto. That's what y'all gotta get in y'all fucking heads, bro. I'm just being honest, just being real. Drop it in the comments. Cars from the playground. Charleston White throwing shots at Lil Boosie. He say all of Vlad interviews ruined his mystique. You know what I mean? He say people ain't so interested in Boosie now because they see him talking about a whole lot of bullshit. You know what I mean? For the 10K Vlad interviews, even though Boosie say he get 30, he say he can't believe it. Vlad refuses to give him more than 2, so he can't be giving Boosie more than 10. Look, Boosie gonna get the views, you know what I mean? Charleston White speak a whole lot, talk a whole lot of shit, but Boosie is a legacy act. Right now, Boosie, life ain't about music. He does it because he enjoys it. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real, bro. Content is the new crack. Him and Webby are legacy acts. Once they really get serious about the music and put something out that matters and not boost it with the street shit, oh, he'll be right back at the top of the charts. I'm just being honest, just being real. Drop it in the comments. Charleston White, you wrong about Boosie. I'm just being honest, man. Clef John announced as Circle's global advisor. Look, they're connecting diaspora, art, innovation, and showcasing how a more open and inclusive financial system can expand access to new opportunities around the world. Look, bro, this is big. They the culture and technology can raise global economic prosperity. This is launching in 2026, bro. Wyclef said culture currency is about having more direct access to what's yours, whether that's finances or the music you create. Look, I don't really know what the fuck this is about, but it's interesting to say the least. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Shout out Wyclef. This is a win. This is a win. Anytime you're involved in anything that's going to better the future or potentially better the future, major win. You know what I mean? Shout out that man. 911 is still one of my favorite songs to this day. Drop it in the comments. Cars from the Playground.
If they throw it, I'ma catch it to play the game like Tetris. I'm one of a kind rap, people tell me I'm a clip. I've been working 24 hours, summertime to winter. I ain't really at the chill, it gotta be about business.